It's daybreak here on Arise News. Time for the press preview. A first look at what's on the front pages of the papers. As they arrive, we begin with our sister publication this day. Its leading headline this morning: Coalition of political parties hails CBN's plan to redesign Naira notes. Some writers there, it says only intending vote buyers, beneficiaries of proceeds of crime, will kick against move. Again, EFCC chair welcomes initiative, insists people hoarding Naira to speculate on FX. More headlines: Sanwo-Olu, that's the Lagos State Governor, presents 1.69 trillion Naira 2023 appropriation bill to lawmakers. Terror threats: UK-US governments update travel advisories to citizens. That's on page 49. Above the nameplate of This Day this morning, finally, Elon Musk announces buying Twitter in $44 billion deal.
And we'll take a look at the Punch this morning. The first headline in the Punch newspaper: terror alert. FG detains 35 suspected swap fighters. Tension heightens. And also, Lagos recruits 423 firemen, boost fire gas fighting capacity. Federal government opens talks with investors on Lagos-Calabar rail. And airlines spend 192 billion naira on jet fuel. And also, Lagos Delta Cross River presents 2.58 trillion naira budget. And flood threatens 1.9 trillion CBN agri scheme. Loses mount.
The Nation newspaper this morning: terror alert, parties in a fix over call to halt campaigns. Sanwo-Olu proposes 1.69 trillion naira budget of continuity. Above the nameplate of the Nation this morning, this is coming from insurers: flood claims will be over 1 trillion naira.
And we'll take a look at the Daily Sun. Abuja, UK issues stay of alert to nationals. FCT tightens security. And security operatives shot more. Ekweremadu concerned Nigerians asks UK to release ex-deputy Senate President wife from custody. And the 2023 EFCC teams up with INEC to end vote buying.
The Guardian Nigeria this morning: terror threat, arrest of suspects, UK's updated advisory heighten fears in Abuja. Abuja Mall shuts down operations. FCTA reclaims law school land. And the big story here: ASU federal government face of counting the toll as more cleanups, repairs needed in schools. That's on pages 4 and 5.
And on the foreign scene, we'll look at the I paper. Sunak poll gives Tories election hope.
And the Independent this morning: Sunak to skip COP27 climate summit. He says he has more to deal domestically. The Prime Minister has been accused of massive failure of leadership for not attending next week's conference. Mental health patients reveal systemic abuse. NHS hands private hospitals almost £190 million despite warnings.
And in the Financial Times, brutal week for big tech as investors knock $550 billion off market valuations. And Sunak waste tax rises and spending cuts worth £50 billion plug fiscal hole.
And for the press preview, let's bring in Emmanuel Ballo, who joins us now. Emmanuel, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at this day and really the story that's cutting across national dailies this morning. Coalition of political parties hail CBN's plan to redesign Naira notes. So basically, they're saying that anyone who is in support of vote buying or who will benefit from criminal activities are the only ones who would criticize this new development.
Well, yes, Nkechi, I think, well, to some extent, because when the story broke, a lot of people believe that this is targeted at politicians. I think this day actually even coined it that way, say it's an ambush on those targeting vote buying, and that politicians are the ones who are going to kick. But this story now is a shift from that, saying that politicians are actually hailing it and saying that it is only those who have stashed money somewhere and wanting to, use those monies to, evade the banks and use them to buy votes. That they're the only one that basically will be worried about it. Again, some people even say that, well, this is actually a big man's problem, that they don't have any monies anyway, stashed anywhere, and if those changes come. But other people criticizing it, not just the politician, other people criticizing the move are talking about the fact that there's no time and that this could run into counterfeiting and that people could be, there's going to be hardship, you are going to suck out money, the money that is in circulation is going to be sucked out. They listened to one radio program yesterday, a lot of people were looking at the various angles to this change or this sudden change. They said that, look, the timing is wrong. We are right in the middle of an election season, and this kind of changes should have happened maybe way into early in the year or after the elections altogether, and that this is going to actually affect things. But the CBN is pushing strong and saying that, getting even, accolades from the EFCC, anti-graft bodies, and now politicians even saying that the very set of people that we think will not like this policy, saying that, no, it's welcome. This is only those who have stashed money, who are going to buy votes, that are going to be really angry with this kind of policy, that they welcome it. So I think that's a boost for CBN, and the CBN will have to now, continue those advocacy around this, get people to understand, maybe even do something like some model, samples of them to understand, so that people will clearly know what's going on, because a lot of questions are still being asked there. What's the nature of this design? Is it a change in how the money looks? Is it even going to affect the value of this currency? Those are questions that people are asking, and some people are worried about the timing. The CBN will have to tell a lot of people that, no, the timing is not wrong, and that it's also within its powers to actually do this, because there are people who are still expressing fear, expressing doubts, and of course, they need a lot of, you need a lot of buy-in and some kind of educations around the matter.
Now let's spot on security. The terror alert, the UK-US government issued travel advisory to its citizens. Now, we know earlier, yesterday or some days ago, the federal government has come to debunk that there is no such threat. But we're having malls being shut down in the Federal Capital Territory. Nationals of this country are leaving the FCT. The IG saying helicopter fighter jets have been expected to be taken delivery of. What exactly is going on here?
Well, yeah, Benny, a lot is going on, but at the center of it is the whole play around it by the federal government, trying to douse the tension, trying to allay our fears, and trying to maybe downplay the severity of the problem. But I don't know whether that's a very good policy, because already the stark reality of those alerts are there now. You spoke about the closure of a shopping mall. That is staggering. That's scary. Earlier in the week too, schools were shutting down in the FCT. Also
the
measures.
The invasion of one of the big estates along the Express.
Exactly. Imagine you live in Trademore Estate. You actually you believe you're very safe in this kind of places, an estate, by the way, with huge gates and security, and then just in your backyard, someone was caught with explosives. So this is bound to actually puncture any kind of sense of security you and I are having. So if you even have any form of what you would think that you are safe within the FCT, these kind of stories are bound to scare you a lot. But the federal government keeps saying that, look, they won't be stampeded into anything, and that these are routine stuff that happen, and that they've been on top of it. They are quite really with the United States and even the UK now issuing fresh alerts. Look, these are supposed to be for internal consumption, but this is not like every other thing we've seen before, Benny. We're seeing nationals, there are videos of people actually leaving the country. It's not good for the for any form of confidence building. It's not good for you and I. We worry if the country is not safe enough for other nationals, how safe it is for you and I. So those are the kind of contradictions within the denials of the federal government on one hand, and saying that no, they're on top of the situation, they're getting more helicopters, they're doing all of that. You hear that, but then you see what the US and the UK government is doing, and you are worried, caught in between these contradictions.
Still on that topic, the Punch is reporting what the federal government has been doing in light of this. It says the federal government detains 35 suspected ISWAP fighters as tensions are heightened. They said this ISWAP fighters were planning an attack in and around the capital. And on the Punch newspaper, Still on the terror alert, it's saying political parties are now in a fix over a call to halt campaigns.
Yes, Nkechi, that's why it's a very serious thing that now, because it's the timing itself. This election season, campaigns are supposed to be on. In the past, in the last, even the last 4 years, we saw how campaigns are done. You know, by now you'll be looking at jamborees, huge rallies around the states. All that is not happening. Just to tell you the kind of testy times we're in and the kind of different kind of situation, different place that we've all found ourselves. And there are people who say that it is this government that should own up to it. So when you see the APC saying that, look, okay, we are ready to comply with the no campaigns structure, you begin to wonder whether it's a ploy all along. Because the PDP is saying that we'll study it to see. But of course, Labour Party has just ruled it out and said, look, we're going to continue our campaigns in spite of the warnings. But the APC seem to be very, very interested in what the security, the plans or the talk that campaigns should stop. They say, look, we'll comply anytime we're told to stop campaigning, we'll do that. That is either a statement of confidence, of overconfidence that they can stop their campaign, or they want to show themselves as people who are, law-abiding. Whatever it is, the parties are actually torn between. Labour Party, of course, is not interested in any of that. It's going to have its rally in Lafayette today, and in some other places too. The PDP say they are going to study it. So whatever it is, these terror alerts are really, really causing all sorts of ripples. And the story in Punch about the arrest, instead of actually dousing fears or reassuring us, is actually a scary thing to know that you have those number of ISWAP fighters right in your backyards and they've been picked. I don't know whether that has really helped in dousing the fears. I think it has heightened our security concerns.
Still on the security alert, we need to focus on this for a moment. I mean, the campaigns are on the way, and Nkechi rightly said, they're calling for most of those parties to halt their campaigns. What is the best way forward with all of this situation, given the fact that we know the elections are just a few months away and campaigns were meant to commence in earnest? And part of the security alert and one that was given is about large gatherings, and campaigns is not word of those large gatherings. Should they or shouldn't they?
Well, yeah, all the campaigns are reacting differently to the order or to the fear. There's different reaction. Labour Party, for instance, that prides itself that it's a structureless party and doesn't care about structure, doesn't care about the conventional way of doing things, have said that they are not interested in any form of alert. They're just going to continue with their campaigns. But the APC is saying that, look, we like that. We're not going to we're going to listen to whatever we're told. Anything the security chiefs tell us, we're going to do that. We're going to comply. The PDP is saying that, look, it's a bit measured about it and saying we are going to look at it studiously and decide which is the best way forward. But whatever decisions these campaigns come up with, you are right, Benny, we're living in real testy times. In the past, this is the time you will have all those jamborees, all those campaigns, all those large crowd, and the song that go with them. You have loud music everywhere. But all that is just to tell you, it's also a testimony, or actually a referendum on the kind of government that's been in place all these years, and the fact that even common campaigns, we can't do them. We can't even have the kind of campaigns we used to have. But the candidates and the campaigns are reacting and thinking of how to go about these campaigns.
Emmanuel Bello, this day newspaper is reporting on Elon Musk and Twitter. It says Elon Musk has now completed that $44 billion deal to take over Twitter, and he's clean house. He's fired the CEO, the CFO, and other executives. In fact, there's reports that one of those who was fired was being escorted out of the Twitter building with security.
Well, it's the developments that I think everyone that is interested in those big tech will actually look at it, because it affects a whole lot of things, especially the issue of ownership and the control of content and the control of viewership and all of that. I think those are the issues that come in so strongly around this. And of course, the fact that one man is becoming this really powerful. I think that's what puts this story in the center of our business, especially we that are into news reporting and of course the information superhighway, and to look at how this control will affect how this is going to actually change the face of reporting, change the face of how people perceive the whole world. I think that's at the center of this story, which makes it very interesting. Another
interesting part of the story is that he's now set to might become CEO himself, and also he might be reversing lifetime bans on Twitter. So maybe Donald Trump might be coming back to the platform.
Well, but you know, Donald has actually moved on. He's got his own platform, and where he's not. There are talks that, of course, he is a huge customer, so to speak. But yeah, yes, but he's moved on. I think at one time he actually said he's not coming back to Twitter because of the ban.
I mean, I don't think he has that much readers on his platform.
Well, yes, but he's hugely, also very huge out there with his app. But of course, those are possibilities that will happen with Elon owning, this platform now.
Talking about one man that is also so powerful aside to the Musk is Wike. Tension heightens as Umayi Ayadenekweazu a meeting with him.
Kind of funny that Ben is comparing Wike to Elon Musk. But yes, you're talking about powerful men. He's holding
a whole party at ransom.
Yeah, to ransom. Yeah, it's true, and nobody understands his move. He's very good with these games of confusing the minds and all of that. But one person that seems to be really not fazed by what he's doing is Atiku himself. He's also traveled to the US and also give those photo ops where you see him standing with the top men, the top men too. So yes, those meetings are going on, but it seems as if Atiku is focused on these campaigns. Certainly, the idea of removing IU is no longer even being considered. So Wike, of course, and I think the Wike's effort is actually going to be a home goal if he's not careful, because on one hand you are saying that look, you are not campaigning for Atiku, the head of the party, but then you have a horse in the race, the governorship, your governorship candidate. This thing could backfire. You could lose. He could even actually lose the state to opposition. So those are some of the fears around men who are very close to him. Those who I spoke to, they are worried about that. They said, look, if you don't also campaign for the president, and you say, look, no, I only campaign for the governor, that leaves you in a place where you are delivering mixed messages around your base, and that's not good enough. The same thing with Benue State, where leaders of the state have actually said, no, we're going to support the presidential candidate, in spite of the fact that he is not doing it himself. So some of this could be just Wike doing things alone with his team and really not actually affecting the base or the electorate. And maybe the campaigns have seen that little opportunity and are planning to go beyond him and reach straight to the electorate and get the votes they can get from Rivers or from Benue.
Well, thank you so much, Emmanuel Bello. That's the press preview.